The bridge of the exploration vessel, Wanderer's Dream, hummed with quiet efficiency as Captain Marcus Reed reviewed the morning reports. His crew of 37 had been traveling through the outer spiral for 6 months, cataloging new star systems and searching for signs of intelligent life. Reed was a practical man in his 40s, with graying temples and laugh lines earned through years of peaceful exploration. "Captain, we've got something big on long-range sensors," announced Navigator Sam Mitchell, his young face creased with concentration. Sam was fresh out of the academy, eager and brilliant with stellar cartography. Communications Officer Jenny Walsh looked up from her station, brushing a strand of red hair from her face. "I'm picking up massive energy signatures. Whatever it is, it's heading straight for us." Engineer Danny Torres whistled low from his position at the engineering console. Danny was the ship's miracle worker, a stocky man who could fix anything with spare parts and creativity. "Those power readings are off the charts, Cap. We're talking planet-killer levels of energy." Reed moved to the main view screen as space began to shimmer and distort. What emerged made the entire bridge fall silent. A colossal warship materialized before them, its dark metal hull stretching for kilometers. Weapon arrays bristled from every surface like the spines of some cosmic predator. The ship's design spoke of raw power and intimidation, built by a civilization that ruled through fear. "Incoming transmission," Jenny announced, her voice tight with tension. The view screen flickered, revealing a figure that looked like it had stepped from humanity's darkest nightmares. The alien stood nearly 3 meters tall, covered in chitinous armor that gleamed like black metal. 6 arms extended from its torso, each ending in razor-sharp talons. Its face was angular and severe, with multiple eyes glowing like red coals. "Primitive species," the alien commander spoke, its voice carrying the authority of absolute power. "I am Supreme Commander Kythera of the Zephyrian Armada. For 5,000 years, my empire has dominated this galaxy. We have crushed civilizations, enslaved entire species, and reduced rebellious worlds to cosmic dust." The bridge crew exchanged glances. Reed could see the fear in their eyes, but also something else, a barely contained sense of the absurd. "You will surrender immediately," Kythera continued. "Your vessel will be destroyed, and your species will serve the Zephyrian Empire. This is the fate of all inferior races who dare venture into our domain." A moment of silence passed. Then Danny Torres let out a snort of laughter. "Sorry," Danny said, trying to compose himself. "Did you just call us primitive with that getup? You look like you're heading to a costume party." Jenny bit her lip, clearly fighting back giggles. "The whole fear me, I am mighty routine is a bit much, isn't it?" Sam nodded enthusiastically. "Very dramatic lighting, though. Points for presentation." Captain Reed watched as his crew's initial fear transformed into amusement. These were humans, after all. Supreme Commander Kythera's multiple eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of confusion among her species. The chitinous plates on her armor shifted as she leaned forward, trying to process what she was witnessing. "You dare mock the Zephyrian Empire?" Kythera's voice boomed across the communication channel. "We have obliterated star systems for less than this insult." Captain Reed stepped forward, maintaining his diplomatic composure despite the growing grins on his crew's faces. "Commander Kythera, we mean no disrespect. It's just that your approach seems a bit outdated." "Outdated?" The alien commander's voice cracked slightly. "We are the apex predators of this galaxy. Our battle fleets number in the thousands." Danny Torres couldn't help himself. "Thousands? That's it?" "Jenny, how many ships are in the Terran exploration fleet now?" Jenny consulted her database, still fighting back laughter. "Last count was around 47,000, sir. That's not including the civilian merchant marine or the colony defense forces." The alien commander's face went through several color changes. "Impossible! No species could field such numbers without conquering half the galaxy." "Well, that's where you're wrong," Sam Mitchell chimed in cheerfully. "We didn't conquer anyone. We just asked nicely if we could be neighbors." Kythera's 6 arms gestured wildly. "This is madness. Galactic dominance requires subjugation. Fear is the only language inferior species understand. Reed shook his head, sympathetically. Commander, have you ever tried just being friendly? It's amazing how much you can accomplish when people actually want to help you. Friendly? Kythera sputtered. We are warriors. We take what we desire through strength. Right, but here's the thing, Danny said, pulling up a holographic display. While you've been busy conquering 10 systems in 5,000 years, we've established peaceful relations with over 800 different species across 12,000 star systems. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. Even Kythera seemed stunned by the numbers. You lie, she whispered. Such expansion is impossible without warfare. Jenny shrugged. Turns out most folks are pretty reasonable when you're not pointing guns at them. We brought pizza to our first diplomatic meeting with the Andromedans. They loved it so much they offered us 3 systems just for the recipe. Pizza? Kythera's voice was barely audible. It's this bread with cheese and toppings, Sam explained, helpfully. Really brings people together, much more effective than death rays. Reed decided to drive the point home. Commander, in the time your empire has spent terrorizing 10 systems, humanity has built libraries, hospitals, and schools across thousands of worlds. We've shared technology, art, and yes, food recipes. We've created a coalition based on mutual respect and genuine friendship. Kythera's weapons arrays, which had been charging throughout the conversation, suddenly powered down. Her crew could be heard arguing in their alien language through the comm channel. This cannot be, she muttered. Everything we know about galactic politics might be wrong, Reed suggested gently. Commander, what if I told you that half the species in our coalition are former enemies who decided they'd rather be friends? Danny grinned. The Rigelians tried to invade us last century. Now they run our best comedy clubs. The Supreme Commander of the mighty Zephyrian Empire sat down heavily in her command chair, looking very much like someone whose entire worldview had just been shattered by the simple concept of being nice to people. Intelligence Officer Zara Quinn had been quietly monitoring the conversation from her station at the back of the bridge. A sharp-minded woman in her 30s with dark skin and keen eyes, Zara specialized in xenocultural analysis and had been documenting this historic first contact. Captain, Zara said, stepping forward with a datapad in hand, perhaps we should show Commander Kythera the full scope of human expansion. Reed nodded. Excellent idea. Commander Kythera, would you like to see what peaceful cooperation actually looks like? The alien leader's multiple eyes focused on the main screen as Zara uploaded her files. A 3-dimensional map of the galaxy appeared, dotted with countless points of light. Blue markers represented human colonies, green showed allied species, territories, and yellow indicated trade routes crisscrossing the spiral arms. Each blue dot represents a human settlement, Zara explained professionally. Each green area shows our allied species' territories. The yellow lines are our trade networks. Kythera leaned forward, her 6 arms trembling slightly. This encompasses nearly a quarter of the galaxy. Actually, it's closer to 30% now, Sam corrected cheerfully. We just established relations with the crystalline entities in the Magellanic clouds last month. Danny pulled up another display. Here's the really cool part. See these manufacturing centers? They're joint operations. Humans provide the creativity and logistics, while our alien friends contribute their specialized skills. The tentacled engineers of Proxima build our ships, the silicon mines of Vega handle our computing, and the artistic commune of Altair designs everything to look amazing. But how do you maintain control over such vast territories? Kythera asked, her voice filled with genuine confusion. Jenny laughed. Control? We don't control anybody, that's the whole point. Each world governs itself, Reed explained patiently. We have a loose confederation for mutual defense and trade, but no one forces anyone to do anything. If a species wants to leave the alliance, they're free to go. Funny thing is, nobody ever wants to. Zara brought up historical data. Commander, your empire has experienced 47 major rebellions in the past 1,000 years. How many rebellions have occurred in human space? Kythera's voice was barely a whisper. How many? 0, Zara said simply. Hard to rebel against people who aren't oppressing you. The alien commander stared at the display showing the vast network of human civilization. Trade routes pulsed with activity. Colony ships moved peacefully between systems, and communication networks carried messages of friendship across impossible distances. "This is impossible," she repeated, but her voice lacked conviction. "Galactic empires require hierarchy. Someone must rule, others must serve." Danny shook his head. "Says who? We tried the whole ruling thing back on Earth. Didn't work out so well. Turns out people are much more productive when they're happy." "But the resources, the coordination required," Kythera protested weakly. "Actually gets easier when everyone wants to help," Sam interjected. "Amazing how much faster things move when you don't have to force people to cooperate." Reed moved closer to the screen. "Commander, look at Sector 77 Alpha. See that system with 12 inhabited worlds?" Kythera nodded numbly. "That's the former warlord territories. They were constantly at war until we showed up with medical supplies during a plague outbreak. Didn't ask for anything in return, just helped because it was the right thing to do. 6 months later, they asked to join our alliance. The warlords now run our most peaceful meditation retreats," Jenny added with a grin. "Turns out warriors make excellent peacekeepers when they have something worth protecting instead of conquering." Zara highlighted another section of the map. "This region here used to be called the slave markets of Arcturus. Now it's the cultural exchange hub, where different species share art, music, and literature." The mighty supreme commander of the Zephyrian Empire stared at the display in stunned silence, watching a galaxy where friendship had accomplished what 5,000 years of conquest never could. Aboard the Zephyrian flagship, chaos reigned in the command center. Sub-Commander Draxon, Kythera's second-in-command, paced frantically between tactical stations while War Priest Vorthak consulted ancient battle scriptures that seemed suddenly meaningless. "Supreme Commander," Draxon's voice crackled through. "The Argentefensi cannot comprehend their strategy. How does one conquer through weakness?" Captain Reed overheard the transmission and chuckled. "Commander Kythera, I think there might be a translation error. We don't conquer through weakness. We expand through strength." "Strength?" Kythera's multiple eyes focused intently. "But you claim to use no weapons, no fear tactics." Zara stepped forward, her analyst mind engaged. "Commander, what's stronger? A chain that holds people against their will, or a bond that makes people want to stay?" Danny pulled up engineering schematics. "Look at this, Commander. Your dreadnought there probably requires thousands of crew members who'd rather be anywhere else, right? Our ships are crewed by volunteers who compete for the chance to explore new worlds. Competition to serve?" War Priest Vorthak's voice echoed through the comm channel. "This contradicts everything in the sacred texts of domination." Jenny couldn't help but laugh. "You have sacred texts about domination? That's your first problem right there." Sam brought up personnel files. "Commander, want to know something interesting? Half our crew members are former refugees from oppressive regimes. They joined us because we offered them something their old governments never did." "What?" Kythera asked, though she seemed almost afraid of the answer. "Hope," Reed said simply, "and the chance to make their own choices." The communication channel filled with heated debates in the Zephyrian language. Through the translator, fragments emerged. Impossible logistics, violation of natural order, and how do they maintain discipline? Kythera silenced her crew with a gesture. "Human captain, I must ask you directly. How do you maintain order without fear? How do you ensure loyalty without force?" Reed exchanged glances with his crew. "Danny, want to field this one?" The engineer grinned. "Sure thing, Cap. Commander Kythera, last month our navigation computer crashed right before a critical mission. Sam here worked 18 hours straight to fix it, missing his daughter's birthday party." Sam shrugged. "The mission was important. We were delivering medical supplies to a plague-stricken world." "Did anyone order him to work those extra hours?" Reed asked. "Nope," Sam replied. "But people were dying. What else was I going to do?" Kythera's voice was barely audible. "He chose to sacrifice his personal time?" "That's what friends do. Jenny said matter-of-factly. When your success is everyone's success, people naturally want to help. Zara pulled up social research data. Commander, studies show that voluntary cooperation is exponentially more efficient than forced compliance. When people believe in their mission, they perform at levels that fear could never achieve. But surely you have criminals, dissidents, rebels, Subcommander Draxon interjected desperately. Sure we do, Reed acknowledged. We have rehabilitation centers instead of prisons, counseling instead of punishment, and job training instead of exile. Most criminals are just people who lost hope. Give them purpose and support, and they usually turn their lives around. Danny chuckled. Our best diplomat used to be a pirate. She's now negotiating trade agreements with the crystalline entities. The silence from the Zephyrian flagship stretched for long minutes. Finally, Kythera's voice returned, smaller and more uncertain than before. I do not understand. If you do not rule through fear, if you do not take what you desire by force, how do you know you are strong? Reed smiled gently. Commander, which is stronger? An empire that needs constant military pressure to survive, or a civilization that grows because people want to be part of it? The question hung in space between the two ships, carrying the weight of 5,000 years of Zephyrian doctrine suddenly thrown into doubt. 3 days later, the Bridge of Wanderer's Dream hosted an unprecedented gathering. Captain Reed had arranged for holographic representatives from 12 different allied species to join the conversation. The tentacled engineers floated in. Their environmental suits, the silicon mines projected their geometric forms, and the artistic commune appeared as swirling patterns of light and color. Commander Kythera materialized on the main screen, but she looked different now. Gone was the intimidating armor, replaced by simple ceremonial robes. Her 6 arms moved with nervous energy rather than threatening gestures. I have spent 3 days reviewing your data, Kythera began, her voice lacking its former imperial authority. My advisors believe you are either the greatest deceivers in galactic history or, Reed prompted gently, or we have been wrong about everything for 5 millennia. Zara stepped forward with her cultural analysis reports. Commander, we've studied 17 different galactic empires throughout history. They all followed the same pattern. Expand through conquest, rule through fear, collapse under rebellion. The average lifespan of a fear-based empire is 2,947 years. How long has the Zephyrian Empire existed? Jenny asked quietly. Kythera's multiple eyes closed briefly. 4,936 years. The holographic representative of the tentacled engineers spoke in their melodious voice. We too were once conquerors, Commander Kythera. Our empire lasted 3,000 years before civil war destroyed it. When the humans found us, we were scattered refugees fighting over scraps. The silicon mine's geometric form pulsed with soft light. We calculate that fear-based governance requires 73% more resources than cooperation-based systems. The energy expenditure on internal security alone exceeds the output of most conquered territories. Danny pulled up economic projections. Commander, your empire controls 10 systems, but only 3 are actually productive. The others are either in rebellion or require so much military oversight that they're resource drains. How many of your systems actually want to be part of your empire? Sam asked curiously. The silence that followed answered the question. Reed moved to the center of the bridge. Commander Kythera, I'm going to make you an offer that might sound crazy. What if instead of conquering more worlds, you tried asking them to join you? War Priest Vorthak's voice crackled through the comm. Impossible. We are warriors. We take what we desire. Then keep being warriors, Jenny suggested. But fight for something worth protecting instead of conquering. The artistic commune's representative shimmered with excited colors. We were pirates and raiders before joining the Human Alliance. Now we defend trade routes and create beauty throughout the galaxy. Being protectors is far more fulfilling than being predators. Kythera looked around at the diverse gathering of species, all speaking with genuine enthusiasm about their cooperation with humanity. You would trust us? After what we are? Commander, Reed said with a warm smile. Everyone deserves a second chance to be better than they were. Zara activated a new holographic display. We're proposing a cultural exchange program. Some of your people could visit our worlds, see how voluntary cooperation works. Some of our ambassadors could visit your systems and help establish communication with populations that want to participate willingly. No conquest? Kithra asked hesitantly. No conquest, Reed confirmed. Just friendship, trade, and mutual support. Danny grinned. Plus, we'd love to learn about your technology. That armor design is incredible, and your ship construction techniques could revolutionize our engineering. You want to learn from us? Sub-Commander Draxon's voice carried amazement. Sam nodded enthusiastically. Every species has something unique to offer. The diversity is what makes our alliance strong. For the first time in the conversation, Commander Kithera's face showed something resembling hope. If we were to consider this alliance, what would be required of us? Just one thing, Reed said simply. A genuine desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. The tentacled engineer representative added softly, and patience. Learning to cooperate after millennia of conquest takes time. We all stumbled at first. Kithera looked at her crew, then back at the assembled representatives of species who had found strength in unity rather than domination. We would like to try.